If you smell what The Rock is cooking. The Rock says, The Rock says. The Rock says, The Rock. They talk to me. You got tools in your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. I hear voices crying, I see heroes dying. Money, 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 money.
Hello and welcome to a special quiz edition of the WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Reese Rock Jones and
Sean Randy Smith, and because it's Money in the Bank next Sunday,
we have decided to do a little quiz based on Money in the Bank to see how well we actually remember things.
So, any of those of you who are fans of the Wrestling Talk Show, which is presented by yours truly and Reese the Rock Jones, make sure you can join in with us as well. So, the floor is open.
Now, a few weeks ago we did do a similar one of these based around theme songs and wrestlers' accomplishments.
But now...
And just like those ones, these will probably be sprinkled here and there, mainly with some of the pay-per-views which have specific matches attached to them, like Hell in a Cell and Royal Rumble.
Yes, and some questions may be the same answers.
Yes, unfortunately that's the way of this match. So, I will start this off by going all the way back to the beginning.
Okay.
Who initially came up with the Money in the Bank concept?
Ooh. Who came up with the Money in the Bank concept idea for the match? Is it, considering he made the Elimination Chamber, is it Eric Bischoff?
Kind of. The idea was pitched by Chris Jericho.
Ah, okay. Chris Jericho. Oh, wait, are we allowed to say that name?
Yes, because his name, unlike certain people's, is not trademarked by the WWE.
Okay. Here's my question. At what WrestleMania was Money in the Bank first debuted, and in what year?
That would be WrestleMania 21, 2005.
You are correct. And I have another question, but I'll let you go first with your next one.
Now, this is an interesting one. I would say it bounces off of one you just asked, but I've changed what I was going to ask.
Okay.
As of this date,
which is the 30th of April,
who is the only wrestler to have won the Money in the Bank ladder match but never cash in?
Oh God. To be honest, some of the listeners are probably screaming at me right now and saying the answer of the superstar that never cashed in. But I honestly don't know. Pass.
Mr. Kennedy.
Oh, God, I forgot about him. Only because he lost to Edge on Monday Night Raw. Now, going back to this one, this might be an easy one because I think you might get this pretty quickly. Who was the first superstar to win a Money in the Bank ladder match and fail his cash-in?
That would be 16-time world champion John Cena.
In a match, I believe, against CM Punk for the championship at Raw 1000,
Oh,
and the Big Crew get involved.
yeah, technically he won the match, he just didn't win the title.
Until you came down, kicked Vince's rear end, until you got attacked by CM Punk.
Yep.
Okay, your next question.
Next question. In what year did Money in the Bank turn from a match held at WrestleMania to its own pay-per-view?
That would be Money in the Bank 2010.
Yes.
I remember that very, very well. I have another question that relates to Money in the Bank. Who and in what year, well actually who won the first women's Money in the Bank ladder match?
Do you want the actual answer or do you want the long answer?
The actual answer, please.
Officially, Carmella.
But do you remember what year it was?
That would have been 2017. No.
Okay, I'll double check on that. But the wrong answer is
The technical answer is James Ellsworth.
there. Did we mention his name? No one can. Yeah. Anyway, your next question. While I check your answer.
The next question is who, and this has two possible answers, but one is really the correct answer.
Okay.
Who became the first superstar to win the Money in the Bank ladder match twice?
That would be CM Punk.
Yes, and what years?
was. I know the other one, but I know the first one's CM Punk.
Yes, that would have been WrestleMania 24 and 25. The other technical answer, if you want to be really picky, would have been Edge, but he only won the actual ladder match once.
My next question for you and the listeners listening: name the superstars who have who have won the Money in the Bank contract, men and women's, and cashed in on the same night.
People who have won and cashed in on the same night.
You can start with the men's, or you can start with the women's minimum matches, or the men's minimum matches. The first one's to cash in on the same night.
Kane was the first person to cash in on the same night in 2010.
Yes, you're right. When he beat Rey Mysterio, when he cashed in on Rey Mysterio after Rey Mysterio defended his championship against he who must not be named.
You mean Jake Hager?
A bit, yeah. Then name another men's. Then name a women's one now.
A women's person to cash in on the same night is Alexa Bliss.
At Money in the Bank 2018, when she interfered in a match between Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax for the Raw Women's title. And then
another male superstar, and well, he's the only other male version I need to think about to cash in on the same night would be Dean Ambrose.
John Moxley. So I'll give you the first answer anyway, because that's right, even though we should mention things. It's copyrighted.
And of course, last year, before her transformation, which by the way has done wonders for her career, Bayley cast in on the same night
to win the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair after she saved Becky Lynch from a 2-1 beatdown from the then heel Lacey Evans and Charlotte Flair, who is now the NXT Women's Champion. Okay, your next question?
Let me think. In what year? Yes. In what year did The Miz cash in on Randy Orton to become WWE Champion?
Oh God! Oh God, that's bringing back some bad memories for me. That would be the very first pay-per-view, 2010.
October of 2010, yes.
And I remember that I defended my champion against then Nexus leader, Wade Barrett. And then after the match, I would have an injured leg. Miz cashed in, hit the skull cushion finale, 1, 2, 3.
Essentially, yes.
What were you going to say?
Essentially, that's what happened, yeah.
My next one would be name a superstar from who wasn't meant to be in the match in the first place.
Here we go.
An obvious one.
Here we go.
Cue your rant answer. Your rant answer.
Are we referring to last year's Money in the Bank? When Brock Lesnar won the match without being in the match in the first place.
Yeah, you're right, and then he turned them into my briefcase into a food box.
That was the most entertaining part of that.
And then he cashed in at Extreme Rules 2019 after that mixed TLC match. Jeez.
Only to lose the title 4 weeks later.
get through. Okay, your next question.
Who cast in on John Cena in 2006?
That would be, to quote Chimmel.
Technically, it's two answers.
Well, if you're gonna, I'll give you one of them. To cash in on Cena. To quote Tony Chimmel, the rated R superstar Edge. That's New Year's Revolution.
That would have been the first Money in the Bank cash-in, but not necessarily the answer that I was going for.
Oh, okay. God, the answer's going to be obvious, isn't it? The answer's going to be obvious. Pass.
Rob Van
Oh,
Dam.
Oh no, I should not say pass now. My next question was going to be along the same lines of that. In what year did RVD cash in at a non-WWE pay-per-view?
Well, technically it was a WWE pay-per-view.
Yes. I know we might mention this in our pre-show, which is our next show coming up, by the way. Maybe, obviously, next week it'll be. Whether that'll be on our scheduled date, which is Thursday, or maybe even Saturday. Name the location that WWE are having this year's unique Money in the Bank ladder match due to the coronavirus pandemic.
WWE's corporate headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. In Stamford, Connecticut.
Okay, your second to last question.
Second to last question. We got plenty of time.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Here's an interesting one.
Okay.
In what year were there 2 Money in the Bank matches, but the second one was for the WWE Championship, not the contract?
Oh, God. That was for... Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Would that be Money in the Bank 2014?
Yes. Just after Daniel Bryan was forced to vacate.
The first time around?
Yes.
Alright, my next question is name the, when was the, oh no, that's the same one I said before. Name a Money in the Bank ladder match that has happened at a non-Money in the Bank show.
Define that more specifically.
Which a Money in the Bank ladder match has been held at a non-Money in the Bank pay-per-view show. But can you remember on what show had a Money in the Bank ladder match?
Technically, there's 2 answers to that. Because from 2005 to 2010, they happened at WrestleMania.
I was thinking more in terms of present day, but okay.
Present day was when the women's Money in the Bank ladder match was forced to take place on SmackDown.
That's what I'm looking for. That's the one. Where Carmella actually legitimately won it this time. Okay, your next question?
So let's see. This is the wording of this is going to be interesting,
Okay.
and it's possibly going to require some memory.
Right.
True or false?
Ooh.
The ending of one Money in the Bank ladder match happened when the briefcase broke after being smashed against the head of a big show.
Is that true?
Yes, it is true. It's how John Cena won the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Oh, we actually had a dent in the front of the briefcase, I remember. In what year did Money in the Bank show go from being... In what year did Money in the Bank became dual branded from just Raw to Raw and SmackDown?
Making it dual branded. Okay, let's think.
In what year did Money in the Bank became dual branded rather than just a Raw pay-per-view?
The first couple of them happened at WrestleMania.
When it became pay-per-view, but the actual answer I'm looking for goes into the...
I would personally say that WrestleMania 23 or 4.
Nope.
Because when
The answer is the 2018 pay-per-view of Money in the Bank when it became Raw and SmackDown superstars involved.
I disagree with that because technically they had in the early Money in the Bank matches they had superstars from Raw and SmackDown, and then when it became a pay-per-view in 2010 you had a Money in the Bank match for Raw and a Money in the Bank match for SmackDown, which technically is dual branded.
Okay. And your next question?
Who was the last person who failed to cash in?
Baron Corbin.
You mean King Corbin?
Yeah. When he tried to cash in on Jinder Mahal, but thanks to John Cena, Jinder Mahal rolled up. 1, 2, 3.
It was quite possibly the only match I've actually wished that Corbin would win. But then again, he probably would have turned out to be more of an annoying champion. Which I don't necessarily mind.
Right, my next question would be... Name someone who won the Money in the Bank in this year and then went on to Survivor Series in this year to cash in and win the championship.
To the best of my recognition, only one person has ever cast in a Survivor Series, and that would be Sheamus in 2015.
Correct, you got it spot on. He would cash in after a tournament final between Roman Reigns and John Moxley.
Which we briefly brought up when we did our celebration of Triple H.
Make sure you go and listen to that show, because that show was a very interesting one. And your next question? Oh, I've got a good one. When you come back to me, I've got a good one.
Let's see. Name. This is an interesting one, possibly, but also kind of obvious one. Name the ladder match expert who has appeared in 6, I believe the total is, Money in the Bank matches.
I've got two answers in my head. One of them, I think of ladder expert, I think of Edge.
No.
Or Jeff Hardy. But I'm going to say Edge.
Technically, the answer I was looking for was Christian.
Oh, yeah. Right, I'll go with one.
Edge, I don't think I was actually in one apart from the first one. Because
He
apart...
was in the one at WrestleMania 23.
Oh yeah, so apart from that, yeah, because after that is when his basically his title run took off.
Yeah. Name the superstar that won the Money in the Bank and then cashed in at TLC to win the World Heavyweight Championship. But also before that, the first time he won it, also named the show that he cashed in on to win the World Championship in Raw. On Raw, I should say.
Ah,
I'll give you the answer because I don't think you're going to get it. The answer is CM Punk when he cashed in the second time.
CM Punk didn't cast. Oh yeah, CM Punk cashed in after the TLC match on Jeff Hardy. Yeah.
And the first time he won Money in the Bank,
He cashed in on Edge.
cashed in on Edge.
Yes, after
a Batista powerbomb, after a Batista bomb, Batista in the ring.
for at the beginning of that, I thought you were talking about when Daniel Bryan cashed in.
Oh yeah. Oh, when did Daniel Bryan cash in? Yeah, that was TLC as well.
Technically, there was a slight thing there because if I remember correctly, the match between Edge and Jeff Hardy was it was a TLC match, but I believe it was actually at Extreme Rules.
Oh yeah, okay. And also, all right. How are we doing for time?
We've got 15 minutes.
How many questions do you want to have? Do you want to have a couple more?
We can have a few more.
And then after that, we'll end the quiz segment, and we'll head on to 2K20 because I hope you look up the matches. One match. Name your question or your penultimate one.
Who won the Money in the Bank ladder match in 2012 and cast in to one of the loudest pops the night after WrestleMania?
That would be Dolph Ziggler cashing in on Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship night after WrestleMania.
Correcto.
Yes. My question would be, name the superstar that won the Money in the Bank ladder match in this year and then went on to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania in what was called, I know this might give the answer away, what was called
the heist of the century. Damn you, I was about to ask you that.
Oh, were you? Oh, sorry.
That would have been Seth Rollins 2014 winning and cashing in at WrestleMania 31.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Being the first person to cash in, not just the WrestleMania, but also whilst another match is going on.
Your next one? So considering I just nicked your one.
Let's see. Who did Alberto Del Rio cash in Money in the Bank on? And when?
That was CM Punk in 2011 after he beat John Cena, only to be for the WWE Championship, only to be attacked by Kevin Nash, and then Alberto Del Rio kicked the back of the head, cashed in, 1, 2, 3.
Correct.
SummerSlam.
Correct.
Hey, the reason I know that, 2K Showcase.
And it happened during the whole time of Triple H regime.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah. So, for any of those of you who are joining in the questions with us, if you've got all of those questions right, you are a definite, true definition of Money in the Bank.
Join us next week where we shall bring you what will hopefully be the finalized card for Money in the Bank 2020, which
Or
looks,
as we call it, Money in the Corporate Corona Bank.
which looks to be the most unique Money in the Bank ladder match yet, with some interesting rules which we shall get into next week. Or if you've actually been watching the Empty Arena shows, you will know what they are.
So, until then, he's been
Reese Lock Jones, and he's been
Sean Randy Smith, and we will join you next week for the Money in the Corona Bank pre-show.